Hey guys, well, it looks like we are live. Yeah. Hey, welcome to America's Finest Heroes. I'm your host, Rich Cigar with Operation Nets, and I'm still going to get these confused, but over there is my partner in crime and my co-host, Charlie from River Chronicles. We are here today, like last week, is as you guys know, or we have some new folks on here. Our whole purpose of this show is to share the journey to real therapy for not only our captain, but also our vet. Mm-hmm. And this is all about their story of the day they went out fishing on Operation Nets mission. And so this is just about their story. So I am going to bring them in. And what's unique about this crew, these two characters, is they're both brothers, Mike and Chris, and also they both were in the Air Force. Alrighty, so let's get it going on. Hey guys, you there?
What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Going good. Okay, so as I was saying, these two unique characters, and I won't fault them, but they're Air Force.
Chair force in the house. Do the chair push-ups in the house. Now we know.
What's a push-up?
Exactly. I have no idea what that is now, there, Mike. I have no idea. My belly gets in the way when I try to do one now.
If anybody knows that the Air Force, how we know the Navy, we focus on air, land, and sea, sea dominance. The Army, they're a bunch of ground pounders. The Marines, they just kill everybody and let God sort it all out.
They get a box of crayons at the end.
That's right. They eat crayons. Hey, what's up, Joel? Hey, and so you guys know, unless somebody's in a Facebook chat, we can't see that when the chats come through.
Yeah. But I'm looking at the YouTube ones over here, Rich.
Okay.
Just so you know. So
yep. So I see somebody said hello and God bless y'all. It just says Facebook user. So
that's probably my sister.
Huh?
That's probably my sister because that's what she said last week.
Oh, right on. Well, welcome, sister. So as I was saying now, the Air Force, I still don't know what Space Force does, but the Air Force,
they take
no idea on that one.
They play golf. I think I said this last week.
I mean,
nothing like the Navy, brother. But anyway, so the Air Force, these guys, they'll budget billions of dollars for a new airfield and a new base and the whole 9 yards. And they get the golf course in, then they got to request more money to put the airfield in.
Well, they got to build a
these guys know how to do it right. These guys know how to do it right. So again, I want to thank everybody.
Mike's cracking up over there.
I want to thank everybody for joining us. If you haven't already, and I don't know where you're watching this from, you could be watching it from Facebook on our page or in our group. You could be watching it from YouTube, or you can be watching it in YouTube for Operation Nets, but also River Chronicles. Yes. So we're simulcasting through all these platforms. So hit a subscribe, and thank you, whoever that Facebook user was.
Yeah, my cousin Jerry, there he is.
All right, right on.
Yeah, I think he retired from fishing though. He ain't been fishing in a while. Rich, you got to talk to my cousin here soon.
That's a problem if he's retired.
Exactly. There he is, my cousin. Right. He's in tons of my River Chronicles videos. So.
Man, right on. So this whole show is about these two gentlemen. Let me see. All right, we got Chris right below me. I'm still getting used to this stuff. And then we got Mike. Mike, and both last name is Buzbee, so I'll just say Mike and Chris. Mike is one of our volunteers and our boat captains with Operation Vets with Nets. What he does is he takes vets out catfishing. And also, if you want and you want to learn more about Operation Vets with Nets, just go to that website right there, operationvetswithnets.org. If you're interested in booking a trip, you can do that there. We've got folks all over the states. If you want to make donations, you can make it there as well. But then also, I want to make sure that you also subscribe not only to our YouTube but also River Chronicles. Charlie does some awesome video footage, and what brought Charlie and I together really was about sharing that journey, and that's what Charlie does. He goes out, he catches video and all this other good stuff. He shares that journey, and when him and I were starting to talk, and that's exactly and the thought process that I think about, and that's why I think Charlie is the perfect co-host.
Thank you for the kind words, my brother. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you.
So, Charlie, before we start drilling down on these two Air Force characters, you have anything, my brother?
Actually, I do. First of all, I am so excited to have Chris and Mike Buzbee. I always made a cool video about y'all's last name, Buzbee. I like it's so cool. But I didn't know if you guys were related or not. But first of all, thank you for your time. Thank you for what you guys have done for our country. It's something that a lot of people out there don't know, right? What we go through and experience. It doesn't matter which branch. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
Even though you guys have the nicest cafeterias out there. But I wanted to take this time to before we even started. I'm not trying to make it dark or anything, but put my glasses on real quick. So I just wanted to send our thoughts and prayers to the family of the two Navy SEALs that just passed away. You probably saw that in the Arabian Sea. It was Christopher Chambers. They were both Navy SEALs. Christopher Chambers and Nathan Ingram. Now, Nathan Ingram has ties to North Texas, where I'm from. He's from Roanoke, which is like 20 minutes away from where I live. And you see it on the news, and they do all of these undercover missions and stuff that people don't see about. And like, we just lost 2 service members. I think it was about a week and a half ago, and they were doing a mission out there. But our thoughts and prayers to those families, and man, you're man. Ooh, hold on, I'm an emotional guy. So I'm trying to get emotional. But yeah, these 2 heroes gave their lives for our country without even knowing. They were just trying to get on a ladder to climb on the ship, and they both slipped off. Well, one slipped off, one jumped after him, trying to save him. That is camaraderie.
Never leave a brother behind.
Exactly. So that's the thing that a lot of civilians don't understand. But here's the other thing. I did receive awesome feedback about this podcast. I think this is one of the best podcasts out there, along with Muskrat Adventures. Yeah, but there were some questions about, okay, is it just about veterans, right? There's other heroes. Yeah, so don't misinterpret this with, there's heroes that live next to you. There's heroes that are teachers. There's heroes that work in your grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what happened in New York with that shooting? Some heroes intervened. There's heroes everywhere.
That's right.
Right? Yeah, I get it. This podcast is America's finest heroes, but we are everywhere. Right? We sacrificed a lot in the military. We did. A lot of people don't understand that. But you have policemen, you have firefighters, you have people that work in the hospitals. You have people that work in the hospitals for free or for minimum wage, teachers. So we just want to say that we appreciate everyone, and please don't confuse this that, okay, it's American Finest Heroes, so it's all going to be about veterans. No, there might be a day that we take a doctor from so-and-so or a firefighter and his family out or something like that. We don't know what the future holds. There's a lot of heroes out there, and it's hard to encompass everyone in our podcast. And we just want you to know that everyone's special out there. There's dads that are heroes. There's single moms that are heroes. And that's the point of this podcast. It's about you guys and your story and about your journey to real therapy. Because there's something about fishing that helps people. I can't put my finger on it. I can't explain it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a marine biologist. But there's something out there that connects everybody who's experienced pretty tough times. But that is it on my end. Now it's going to be Mike and Chris.
Yep.
It is all you guys.
Real quick, let me just address a couple of things here. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who's popping in. Hey, Thomas, I will check the emails and see about your mission. And as soon as I get back from this big tournament I got this weekend, I'll look into that and we'll get something out to you. Samantha, I don't know how you heard about our podcast, but awesome. Samantha's from the Lake Gaston area as well. She has a lake house here like I do. So I'll definitely reach out to you. Just look for Rich Segura, and that'll be awesome. And real quick, and she's tagging a bunch of folks, so that's very appreciative. So, all right. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mike. And so you guys know, so you know how a lot of this works is as you saw, we had a gentleman just a second ago say he's got on the website and scheduled. He's just waiting for a response. That's how most of our missions come in, is people go to our website and stuff like that. Now Mike's been with us. He's been with us for a good bit, at least since around the June time period, June-July time period or so.
Yeah, June-July time.
Yep. And so, which is awesome. Without people like Mike, it's difficult to do what we do as an organization because you need folks willing to donate their time to take bets out. So without further ado, let me see here if I can get it. I got somewhere. You got me?
Mike and Chris.
There you go. I'll handle Chris. You go ahead and handle Mike. Mike, go ahead, brother.
All right. Well, Mike Buzbee, Air Force veteran. I went in a month after graduating high school. I mean, almost to the date, a month. Air Force wasn't hard. Basic wasn't really that tough. I mean, it's mentally tough. But I was C-130 loadmaster. So I did the airdrops. I did the beans and bullets, that kind of stuff. You know, in the desert, it was you call, we haul. That was our job. Especially on the C-130. That'll get you in and out of the worst places you never want to be.
Yes.
Yes. So I got three deployments to Afghanistan, 4 to Iraq. My last mission over there, you know, I blew my knee out. They medevac me out. You know, got me back home after a couple months. Finally, got me about as best as they could get me after a knee being torn up and then rehealing, and you know, so after that and some multiple surgeries after that to get everything back as normal as it can, I've been deemed unemployable. So we'll fast forward to about 2015. I was deemed unemployable. Kind of, you know, I busted my butt in school working on a master's. Found out 2 classes from my master's that I was no longer able to work. They said, hey, you can't work anymore. You're unemployable. So got down a little bit. Bounced around, moved back to Oklahoma City area. You know, life as a veteran. And I found it was a different group. Bunch of good guys holding some tournaments. I kind of got in with them. Ended up becoming vice president of that group.
Nice.
COVID shut us down. I mean, it just flat shut us down. See, weren't allowed to be, you know, 6-foot rule, and the city was involved with permitting for the lake, and it was a big mess. Tried picking it back up after COVID. Really, it just couldn't get traction. Which is sad. It was a great group of guys. it was all local to me too, so that helped. Our drive, and I was at the president's house from where I live there in Oklahoma City. Um, with that falling apart, me and the wife moved up here. Yeah, that wasn't the reason we moved, but we moved up here to Grand Lake in northeast Oklahoma. Get away from the city, get back to fishing, get back to living. Just before COVID, really, just before COVID hit is when we moved, and I love it up here. I mean, it's fun. As far as veteran stuff, there's 3 or 4 VFWs really close. There's a DAV. I think there's a couple other veteran organizations that are in this area. So we're working on trying to get our name out to those guys a lot around here. But it for me, fishing kind of got me back out there. It just got me with my brothers and sisters that understood the camaraderie, not just, hey, it's a friend that I've known from high school, or, you know, somebody like that. It wasn't somebody, these were guys that had been where I'd been, had served where I'd served, been through it just like I had. So, you know, it it was great to get in with this other group. I gung ho, and like I said, COVID shut us down. I mean, it just flat shut us down. Uh, I think I was actually on TikTok, and I came across this group, one of this group's TikTok videos. It might have been Facebook, but it was one of the social media groups, and it was like, hey, I don't know where they're at, but I'm gonna reach out, see what I can do. See, because I've got a boat. I live on the lake, so how
Nice.
much? It's not hard for me to get out. Rich said I've been with you guys with this group since June, July. Uh, my boat went down like within a month of joining. So uh, taking Christopher, my brother, out was really the first trip that I had actually done, and this was here just about a month ago. But everybody knows with a boat how long it takes to get things repaired or dealt with. And so, Rich being the guy he is, he was like, hey, take care of your business, do what you do, just keep advertising for us. We're not, just because you lost your boat doesn't mean you're not part of the group. So that was a big deal to me. Because I know there's some groups that, well, you don't have a boat, you can't take veterans out right this minute. Sorry, see you later. You know, and Rich, he understands. I mean, but it was just like, yeah, cool. I'll get a boat. I'll feel like I'm part of the group again, be functional. So
We're a
got it all
family,
set.
brother. We're a family. That's all it's about.
Yeah, and that's it. We have our group chat that goes off all the time, joke around. Couldn't ask for a bunch of better guys, really. But I wanted Christopher, me and my brother, I wanted to see how my new boat handled with a couple guys on it. So grabbed my brother-in-law, and we went out. We didn't catfish, we chased spoonbill. So a little bit
Nice.
different than what we normally do, but it's a fun trip because you snag into these fish that you could get one that's 20 pounds, or you could end up with, 100-pound fish. But either way, it's a fun fight.
Yeah, those were
So,
some cool pictures when you sent them up. They were real. I was like, wow.
yeah, and there's ones that we got into weren't real big. They're fun, but yeah, and so it worked out having a veteran as far as my brother. So that's what he's 6 years younger than me. I
Five.
think. But okay. So yeah, he followed in my footsteps a little bit, going Air Force. Hopefully I have a little bit to do with that. Can explain, hey, look, go Air Force, not these guys. Could have been a little better.
Should have listened to you about the job, though.
No, you didn't. Now, I told him if he's going to go in, go air crew because you're just taken care of a lot better.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, it's fun. I love getting out there with him. Yeah, he only lives about 30 minutes away from me, so we do go out more often than just this one spoonbill trip or You know, we're going out next Friday to go get some bait for a tournament on Saturday. You know, so it's, look close as you do. It's nice to get out, go hang out. Just what this is, what this group's about: getting out, hanging out, talking to each other, and it's just you two, or maybe one other. But it's not forced. Usually veterans out that, or even civilians. Sometimes the conversation is forced. So that makes it nice for my brother. But I've taken other veterans out, and then there's that first hour. It feels forced. It's almost like they want to be there, but they don't. And then once everything kind of lightens up, you get a feel for each other, and you realize, hey, this guy's been there, and that guy, we've been there together. Everything kind of opens up a little bit, and it makes for a good trip. But I'm gonna send it over to Christopher for a little bit, let him talk, introduce himself.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
All right, so I'm Chris Buzbee. I'm his brother. As it was mentioned, I'm Air Force veteran as well, and I was an aircraft electrician. So I ended up working on A-10s and F-15E models. I ended up, whenever I was stationed over in England, I fell while changing an aircraft generator, had the generator up on my shoulder, and I've had a messed up back since. But yeah, after getting out of the Air Force, lived up in Washington State for a while, started going to school up there. And I realized that it's difficult to make a connection with people that don't have that shared experience. And so I ended up getting involved with a veterans group up there with the school that I was going to, and that turned out to be fantastic. And then from there, I ended up moving back to Arizona because I was stationed in Arizona initially, and reconnected with a bunch of military friends there. And this is one of the things I absolutely love about military friends is there's guys that I've met in 2007 whenever I was first stationed in Tucson that we're not even on the same continent anymore, and we stay in contact. You don't find that anywhere.
That or if you lose contact, you pick, as soon as you pick it back up, it's like nothing was missed.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that camaraderie, I realize you don't find it really anywhere else outside of veterans groups. And so it was after I ended up leaving Arizona. I actually came out here. It was after brother and sister-in-law had moved up to Grand Lake. I came out here for Christmas, come visit. Really didn't have any intention of moving out here. And yeah, ended up enjoying being back around family, getting out of the craziness that was Tucson, Arizona, and on an impulse decided to move out here. And then, kind of started helping Michael when I could with, like he was saying with the previous group that he worked with, if he needed basically a deckhand to go out with him, I'd help him out with that. And so I've tried to be involved as much as I could with veterans groups doing that stuff around. And, I don't know, I'm kind of hoping that maybe someday I can help out with y'all. I've got a bass boat of my own now. So, but it's currently down. I've been tearing the front deck apart on it. I had a soft spot in the plywood. So that's getting all rebuilt. But
he just chased the ditch pickles though.
Yeah, I'm a bass fisherman.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
See, that's where Charlie and I differ. We're gonna have to fix that. No, I'm not kidding.
I catch some green pickles every now and then.
You know what? I look at it this way. Yes, I'm a cat fisherman. I'll even do a little bit of striper fishing. And I'm not great at that. I'm still learning that, and I've got a great guy, Mark Downing, on our team that is probably the best striper fisherman in our area here in Lake Gaston. So I learned from him, and now I have a downrigger that I've got that I'm going to put on our wheelchair boat, so I can do some of that too. So it's it's wherever you get that therapy, and I'll let you guys share what you guys about that therapy, about that what we call real therapy. But no matter how you get it, that's the important thing.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
life stressors, life stressors, we know, like me, I'm 100% disabled. I've got major back issues, knee issues. I'm mentally confused. No, see now my wife
That
is
explains a
joking,
lot.
say, don't deny that, you are. No, but when I get on the water, no matter how bad my back's bother me, if work, especially work, really, the last 6 months have really been stressful because I'm working on a big project, and bad stress will have those effects on your body. And so that's how I get my real therapy, is I'll get on the water. So Chris, so obviously your brother invites you out to that smaller G3.
Oh, it's
Why?
Excel.
Huh?
I got out of the G3 and went to the Excel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because all right, right on. Okay, the Excel, which is still another good boat.
Yep. I love this.
And so now your brother invites you out. They got to break it in. Got to go catch those spoonbill. Talk about that journey from when you first met him in the morning. Walk us through your day. Walk us through all that. What helped you accomplish that real therapy?
Oh, just being out on the water, having that opportunity to kind of get away from things, BS with some like-minded people. It's great. Even, with not going out on the boat with somebody, it's close enough to lakes around here. Even before I had my boat, that if, like you were talking about, with getting stressed out from work, and I'm lucky enough to have a work from home job where I get to create my work schedule. And there would be times where I would just kind of get annoyed with things, and I'd load up a rod in the truck and go fishing from the bank for half an hour.
Yes, sir.
And that's one thing that I'm really grateful for having the opportunity to be able to move out here, and Michael getting me back into fishing, because I'd kind of gotten away from fishing for a while, and Michael was an important instrument in getting me back into that. And yeah, it's great. Spent tons of money on it, probably way too much money, but yeah, it's been great from that aspect. Yeah, so that spoonbill trip we went on, we ended up not meeting as early as we usually do, but because it's been pretty cold around here. Actually, it was about 20 degrees, I think, that morning whenever we met up.
Yeah, I think it was in that real high teens, low 20s temps
Yeah,
that morning.
So we're all bundled up, and the one thing I missed about him not having that G3 anymore is there wasn't a windscreen to duck behind whenever we were running across the lake. Having that center console, it's standing there just full wind in your face. But,
Tears going down the side of your eyes like this.
oh yeah, freezing up as they're streaking back.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yep. But yeah, we went out and did that, and then we had some equipment difficulties at first. Ended up stopping, getting that sorted out, and then from then on, for the next 3 hours, we put, what was it, 6 fish in the boat.
Yeah,
Nice.
3 hours. Yeah, we finished first, I don't know, probably 2 hours. It was what's going on. We're hitting them, but we're not hooking them. Because with spoonbill, you're not actually catching them, you're snagging them.
That's what I was going to ask you. Isn't
You drag,
isn't
I don't
that
have
where
one.
you have a treble hook?
Yeah, you got to treble hook about that big around. And you're dragging just with a diver behind you. Yeah, he's got a diver there too.
These are the divers that we use.
So what is that? What's that used for?
So This connects to the line and it drags it down into the water, and you have a treble hook about 3 foot above the diver that's on the line. And whenever that hits the spoonbill, that'll snag them, and it'll pull out 100, 150 feet of line before they start slowing down.
Wow. Wow. Okay. See, I'm new to that spoonbill thing, and I'd imagine, yeah, it'd be pretty difficult to get some fish in your mouth with that big old nose they got. So when you're catfishing, you're dragging or anchoring, yeah, it'd be probably pretty challenging. So I can understand why you'd have to nail them with a big treble hook. And folks, I'm getting a lot of people sending me messages and stuff like that. I'm not ignoring you, but I'm not focusing on my phone right now. So, all right, go ahead, Chris.
But yeah, so we got like I said, we had those equipment difficulties, kind of got that sorted out. And then after that, we were able to get on them. We just kind of got a couple of fish each, and those things are a blast. As much as I like going bass fishing, those things are a blast to fight. Like I said, you get a good one, you'll be fighting them for 200, 250 foot of line, bringing them in. And you get them in the tail, and that can be an angry fight.
Could imagine.
But getting out doing that stuff, to me, there's nothing more relaxing and no better way just to kind of connect with God, connect with friends.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it just, I don't know, it's peaceful. I mean, even when we're having that frustration and equipment problems, it's, I would rather have that frustration out there than dealing with the frustrations at home or, just life. But, it's just, even with the frustrations, it's relaxing. A day of spoon billing, you go home tired, sore, just, it wears you out, beats you up, but you've had a blast. The six fish we put in the boat is probably 400 pounds of fish,
Wow.
if not more.
So let me ask you. And both you guys. So you hear us all the time talking about real therapy. So, Mike, as you're taking someone out, such as you took your brother out and everything, do you find that being just as therapeutic for you as the captain, as we would hope Chris would be receiving? Are you finding that therapeutic for yourself as well?
Yeah, I mean, even he's my brother, but we talk. We're close enough that we talk and get along. And in the past, I've taken other veterans. I've taken a whole lot of other veterans out, just not with this organization.
Okay.
And it's amazing how I took some Vietnam veterans out one time. And even though there's that generational gap there, we understand each other.
Yes.
Yeah. They were in Vietnam or, not necessarily Korea, but, they were in the crap the same way we were in the crap in Afghanistan or Iraq. Different place, different times, a whole lot different rules. Some of the stories those guys tell, those will give you nightmares by themselves. But I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, he had it worse than me. So, I'm thankful that as bad as what I went through, it sucked, but it's not that bad because I'm not alone in it. I didn't go through everything I went through alone. There's guys that have seen worse. Obviously, there's guys that have a lot better. But we all, at some point or another, serving this country, have seen it. And talking to them, it kind of it opens your eyes. And it took me a little while to figure out that, hey, I'm not alone in this. Going talking to people at the VA, that's one thing. And, the group therapy stuff, that's, yeah, you know, but getting out here, doing something that you enjoy and that you can kind of relax in a more one-on-one environment, you you see these guys, and myself included, opening up more. Hey, this is what's bothering me. Do you know somebody that could maybe help me out? Or, hey, thanks for listening. I just had to get that off my chest. I feel 100 times better now because I've talked to somebody that understands what I'm going through or been there, and then myself included, are not going to go blab to somebody. That's one thing I think a lot of people don't understand is once we start opening up, we're giving you our secrets. We're giving you what we've been through that we keep from normal Joe Schmoes.
Do you find that when you're able to open up to a fellow veteran, someone I'll say, has trampled through the same dirt as you have, and when I say that, I'm talking about either on the ocean, wherever, So, do you find when you're able to open up to someone like that, or you see somebody opening up to you, do you feel that like lifts some weight off of you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can start out the morning doom and gloom, and by the time you're done talking and chatting, and maybe caught a couple fish and just hung out, you get to relax. And oh my gosh, I know you understand this because you've been there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me vent. And it's a safe environment. I mean, you're out on a boat. There's nobody else besides the person you're with that's going to hear anything. So, and we all know as veterans, I would say 95% of us, we don't judge each other.
That's right.
I mean, there's a group of it, but for the most part, we're, as long as we're together, it's a safe space.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. It's so much easier to open up with somebody that has that shared experience. Even if, like Michael said, it's that generational gap. Doesn't even have to be the same branch. That's one of my best friends is a former Marine. And him and I make it a point about every other week we'll sit and BS on the phone, talk about life, talk about things going on. He's got another kid on the way, and it definitely benefits him too. I've noticed from being able to just talk to somebody that is a military member that doesn't have their head up their butt, and it just helps relieve that stress. And this is one reason I'm really wanting to get involved with a veteran organization like what you all have. I need a little bit more time to kind of figure some fishing stuff out around here, get some things sorted out on my end.
Get some multi-bars put on there and start catching catfish.
My glitter rig don't need any of that slime in there.
Some spinner baits or some.
I'll take people crappie fishing. We can figure out something.
Yeah.
There you go. And once you get all that situated, man, you're more than welcome to jump on board. And what's exciting is, and I like to hear that. So even though your brother would have took you out fishing anyway, but he was you were his vet trip and everything. I would love, and it's exciting to see that folks, they may experience a trip, with one of our captains, and they have their own boat and stuff like that, and want to figure out, all right, I need to learn this because I want to be able to provide vets what you provided me.
Yep.
And we have some folks that I'm working with now that I've personally taken out that they want to start converting their they have an older pontoon boat and they want to start converting it and learning catfishing, and then once they feel confident enough, they want to start running trips for us as well. And I told them, I said, well, you know what? I'll help you through that process of what you need for your boat, and come out a couple of times with me again so you get that, how we set things up, and then we'll go out fishing on your boat and let you start doing that stuff. And it's awesome because then that vet gets to give back to to fellow vets from something he learned from our organization. And it's exciting to see that. So let me ask you. So you're going on this trip. Did you and your brother get into? I mean, did you talk? I mean, I guess it would be difficult, not difficult, because you guys probably talk all the time anyway. Your brothers. It's like I talk to my brother probably 2-3 times a day. He's up in Jersey though, but did you guys get into talking about any kind of military stuff or what might be going? And you don't have to. I mean, if you want, if you had and you want to share some things, great. If you don't want, that's kind of personal. Then say, Rich, that's kind of personal. But because we want, as there's veterans that might be watching this this podcast live, we want them to know that this could be something that may benefit them. And that,
I don't remember the specifics of what all we talked about, but it seems like anytime we're doing anything like that, military stuff always gets brought up. It's impossible, especially with the way things are going anymore.
Yeah.
All the crazies out there. But also with my sister-in-law's brother with us, good guy, but he's not former military, so we kind of steer away from those specific conversations.
Yeah, I imagine because you couldn't relate.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he was a prison guard, so he does some, so he understands a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if he got there, and this is we kind of planned this trip as a yearly after Christmas trip. And with me and Christopher, we're out at least once a month. Yeah, just me and him. So it's this one specific trip wasn't necessarily, hey, we're gonna talk or something. This was just, hey, have fun, get out and BS with each other. But after the trip's done, we sent he goes his way. But we sit and talk, hey, this was fun, this was nice to get out and relax. I really needed this because this was fun. Or, something like that. So it wasn't necessarily during the trip, but I said, we're out about once a month, just me and him. And it's any trip. It's brought up. Something's brought up because there's always something from the military service that's gonna bother you.
Yes.
Or it gets you. And everybody's experience with it is different. Me and Rich could have gone through the exact same thing, same place, same everything, and we would have experienced different.
That's a great point, man.
So he experienced things, I experienced things, and that once a month trip, hey, I didn't sleep good this because of this, or I have this going on, and I just need to bounce it off somebody. So
Yeah, that's gonna piggyback on that, Mike, if you don't mind.
yeah, go ahead.
So that was a great point that you made because, like we say, the journey to real therapy, Operation Vets with Nets, right? If you guys haven't subscribed and signed up, please do so. But it's it's more of a human journey to real therapy because there's a lot of people out there who aren't veterans, that need it to survive or need it to get them through the day or through the week or through the last month that they had. Especially like Chris was saying earlier about how everything's kind of crazy right now that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised because I've been out with veterans. Like I got all these veterans that where I work at. There's tons of veterans that want to go out and do some fishing, right? But it's weird because I'll talk to them at work and we'll talk about military stuff. But then it turns out most of the time we're talking about just life stuff. About like, well, I need to decompress. I really don't have no one I can really talk to. But if I'm out there on the water, it's different. It's crazy. There's just something about being on the water, whether it's fishing, catching small fish, big fish, it doesn't matter. Whether it's this brand, that doesn't matter. It's the whole picture that, like you said, you and your brother were out there, but the conversations wouldn't always be just about military stuff. It's about life and those journeys that we're trying. So there's something about the water that makes the conversation easier. Like I had a conversation, I don't know, a few years ago with one of my nephews, and it was one of those kind of hard conversations, but being on the water made it so much easier. And like you said earlier, you kept saying about people don't understand, people don't see it and understand, and that's the thing. If people don't understand that, it's okay. No one's gonna dislike you or hate you because of that. No, that's not the way it worked. We're different. Some people like to catch huge monster fish. That is awesome. Some people like me, I want to catch a sunfish or whatever. I catch something, I'm all excited, right? So I think that's the thing that we need to fine tune. That it's America's finest heroes. It's everyone. It's your journey. It's Chris's journey. It's Rich's journey. It's my journey. It's everyone's journey out there because, like growing up in a Hispanic household culture, my heritage being Hispanic, you don't talk about anything. You don't talk about feelings. You don't talk about emotions. You sure as hell don't cry, that kind of stuff. But I remember being out there in the water and I could have interactions with my cousins, with my uncles and stuff like that about stuff that was deeper, more than fishing. And that's what fishing and real therapy is all about. And that's why Operation Vets with Nets is freaking awesome. Like what Rich has going is it's about the story. It's about everyone's journey. It's about your journey. It's about Chris's journey. The Buzbees, I love that. I want to make a video like you guys. The Buzbees. I got all these ideas going through my head. And that's what it's about. And that's what we want people to, to tune in and find out more about Operation Vets with Nets, how they can sign up at the website, whether they're captains or a veteran that wants to go fishing. Because you'd be surprised how there could be some conflict between that veteran and maybe his spouse or his family or her family. And maybe just going out on a trip can view things a little differently. Like Rich has a story about, when some veteran called him and that was it. He was right there until Rich took him out, and right there it changed everything once he took him out there. We just don't know. And we know that everyone's time is valuable. It's very precious. It's ticking daily. And whatever efforts that we can put into it to try to bring real therapy to not just veterans, but America's finest heroes, period. I think that's a great thing. And when you guys, like, I just can't, like, I found out my old command sergeant major passed away in 2021. I hadn't talked to him in like 10 years. Found out that today. But it makes you think about stuff. You're like, oh my God, life is so short. It just goes like that before you know it. But it's weird. Have you had those days when you guys are out there fishing and for some reason the day seems like it's so long and you just want it? But don't you have those days where you're fishing and you're like, man, it's already time to go home?
Every weekend.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like, what? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And you're like, okay, the weather's changing or whatever. But that's the thing, man. This is what Operation Vets with Nets is doing. It's that we want to tell you that it's okay. It's a safe place. You don't have to be a macho man or macho woman. It's okay to talk to somebody. If you can't talk to a sibling or a family member, there's VA representatives. I know there's not, yeah, don't get me wrong. I can see you calling the VA hotline and it's not, you don't have that personal connection. But this is what Operation Investment is creating. We're creating this network. It's like an ant pile. You know how it just goes everywhere? That's what we're trying to create here, that you can reach out to anyone if anything is going on, regardless of how small or how big. We don't know that until we actually interact with that person or they interact with us. And hearing your guys' story is, I can't tell you how honored I am to sit here and hear your guys' story. It's just, and we're so lucky to be here to tell and hear those stories, because there's people out there that are not, they're not here with their families. They're not going out there fishing.
Yeah, you know, and Charlie, you say that is, and we talked about this last week, is we even have civilians that are captains within our organization have not experienced what we have, in the military, but are just as effective. Why? Because they have a heart, just like we were called to the military. We were called for a season, no matter how long that was. If you were in for 2 years, if you were in for 20 plus years and retired, we're called. God put us there for a season, and so we are there to serve something greater than ourselves.
There you go.
We were called to serve our country, serve our brothers and sisters at arms, and our civilian captains. For whatever reason, they couldn't go into the military, or they chose not to. Whatever reason, it doesn't matter. But they look at being part of Operation Vets with Nets as how they can serve and how they can give back to our veterans that gave so much to this country, just in however amount of time.
Yes. We have to be diverse and inclusive.
Yes. And so we never want to not look at our captains and say, well, this, you weren't in military, you can't relate. Yeah, and some things they can't relate, but in some life issues that come up, they definitely can relate.
Exactly.
And since they have, and most of us, like with military, and as you can tell, at least with me and Charlie, we like to talk. And you have a lot of guys that do that. But these civilians, the folks that haven't served, when a vet is opening and sharing, one thing that I think they have above us is they shut up and they just listen. Because sometimes, like we were trained in the military, if you have a problem, you solve it. So sometimes we get, like, if somebody's sharing something with us, they're going through something, we want to try to help them solve that. And all they really want to do is someone to listen.
To listen.
And it took me a long time to learn that, especially coming from the environment that I came from years ago. And so that's what's good about our civilian captains. They listen because they haven't experienced that, but they listen to what that guy's going through, and hopefully he'll have enough discernment to know when to chime in, and give some feedback, or and it's a blessing that within our organization, we have such a diverse community.
And that's why it's called America's Finest Heroes. It's America. It's not veterans' finest heroes. It's a huge array of individuals out there that some of them we haven't met yet, and we will. No, that was a long one.
But yeah, as like the civilians that are there, I appreciate those guys
Mhm.
just as much as I do the guys that served as far as our captains go. You know, because they're stepping up, they're taking their time to help us out. You know, yeah, they might not understand fully, but like you said, Rich, they listen. They and you said we like to fix things. That's us. You know, here's the problem. We fix it. We find a solution. That's not what's needed all the time. Yeah, that solution. A lot of times, the solution is them talking.
Yes.
You know, just us shut up and listen.
Yeah.
And
And here's the
that's
thing, it's like a telephone, it goes both ways. We can, anytime you're fishing with someone, you can help each other out. We just don't know. You know, it's those conversations, those interactions, and those stories that you're sharing with. It doesn't matter if it's a veteran or a civilian. It's that's what's amazing about it. And here's the awesome thing about it is that I've been out fishing lately with some people, and it's like we almost forgot we were fishing because we were so busy talking about just growing up and our families and experiences, and you learn, right? And this person wasn't a military individual, so it goes both ways, and that's what's amazing about this journey. That's what's amazing. I mean, everyone has a beautiful story to tell, and that's why we're here because we want to hear it. We want you guys and gals to share it, and we're going to do our best to make sure that we can spread that story. That's amazing. I'm just is this I'm super happy. And Chris, where's Chris at? Still there, Chris?
I'm here.
So Chris, you said something about Tucson earlier. You weren't at Sierra Vista, were you?
No, I was in Tucson.
I went to Sierra Vista for a year. I did a AIT for a year there, military intelligence, before they shipped me out to Germany. But I was there in '94,
A
long
little bit
time.
before my time.
Yeah,
Military
I don't even,
intelligence.
I don't. Yeah, it's an
Always.
oxymoron, right?
Yeah.
And Chris, I don't even think it was called Sierra Vista. It was just called Sierra back then. They added the Vista later, but, and
Well,
it was
Became
hot here.
nicer. They had
well,
to,
we
they had to
we got
fancy it up a
about
little bit.
we got about 3-4 minutes left, and if you guys want to continue sharing, there's something you want to get out and share, so everybody could hear what what's on your mind. Then if we need to go a little bit longer, we will. I'm not gonna nail anybody down to a certain time period, even though we're scheduled for an hour, and we like to be mindful of people's time as well. But like this
Absolutely.
weekend, what I'm excited about is we've got one of the biggest East Coast tournaments called the Ice Bowl on Kerr Reservoir, and I wanted to fish this, but I'm like, you know what though? I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring a vet with us. We're gonna and so we do. We got Chris Davis who's coming out with us, and I kind of freaked him out earlier, and I said, all I texted him was, I said I'm sorry, and I just left it at that. And I was waiting and I was waiting. All he says, "What's up? Is everything okay?" "Oh yeah, I'm sorry that you are not going to be able to sleep tonight because you've been talking about this trip for weeks now, and when you're excited about something like that, you can't sleep. I mean, I do this. I mean, I'm an avid fisherman, and almost every trip I got scheduled, planned, and I'm taking the vet out, I can barely sleep, that night because I'm excited about that. So it's gonna be a very long day because we'll be on the water, and then we break from the captain's meeting, and we'll probably meet with a bunch of other guys afterwards. But then we're getting on the water 3 o'clock in the morning, and it starts at 6 because there's gonna be over 200 boats. We got to get out there and claim our spot. So it's going to be a long weekend, and but we're looking forward to it. Hey, let me see here. Thank you to whoever this Facebook user was. I appreciate it, but I'm not about the recognition. That's one thing the good Lord put into me years ago. It's not about me. I appreciate you thanking me for my service. Yeah, that is me, my service. But what I do for Operation Vets with and founding this organization has nothing to do with me. This was all God. This was what He put on my heart. He's been leading the way. He's, just like, is it Carrie Underwood sings, Jesus take the wheel? That's it. He takes the wheel. So, what I'd like to do real quick is open up the floor to Mike and Chris. If they have any last minute things they want to share with anybody, then if Charlie doesn't have anything to share, then you know what? Then we'll call it a show. We'll be excited, next week. I don't have the guest list with me, but we do have that set up. And it was funny as I asked my team, hey, who's today? And I forgot it. Actually, I was going to be the captain with this other vet. And I'm like, because I'm asking my team, hey, all right, guys, who volunteered? It was me. So, which we're going to schedule that sometime in February. But so go ahead, Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you, buddy.
All right. I really don't have much else to say. Just, Rich, thanks for letting me on the team. It's an honor. It absolutely is. If you guys are listening, book with anybody. Get out there, talk. Life's worth living. It really is.
Yes.
There is help out there for us. It might be tough to get, and it's tough to swallow to ask for help. But in the long run, it's worth it.
Yes. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Mike. Chris.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I feel like we've had a good conversation. Looking forward to the future of what this organization has to offer, and hopefully I can be a part of it someday.
Yep.
And we look forward to that day.
Yep. And Chris, just so you know, my family got some property here in Seagoville, Texas, full of bass, my brother. I made a couple of videos, so you come on down.
I'll have to check them out. Maybe I can come down and do a video with you. Go catch some hogs.
Oh yeah, I had a blast. It's right on our property, with my sister and my nephew.
Wait a minute. How could you say catch some hogs? They're bass.
They're bass. They're awesome. Freaking catching a bass with some light tackle is amazing. Like it's like, oh my god. Yeah. But yeah, we have some property down the road it's just outside of Dallas. And it's right on their property, so we take our little boats out there and catch some bass.
That's awesome. I'll tell you what, though, Texas bass fishermen are spoiled.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw a report the other day. There have been 2 13-plus pound bass caught on, was it OHIV? Just this year.
Everyone in Texas is spoiled, god dang.
And you just proved my point.
Exactly.
You're saying a hog, 13-something pounds. That's an eater catfish, man. That's an everyday.
I know. But when you see it, it's just different. It looks different.
Oh, yeah. Now, I caught, I think my biggest bass was about 8-9 pounds. So yeah. So
I think it's just more the fight, because even those 2-3 pounders, boy, they just be jumping around and jumping out and I use like 4 to 6 pound tests, so it's just freaking fun. Like I just get so excited. A freaking water moccasin come up and bite me, and I get all excited.
All right, Charlie, you're up.
I'm up.
Any last minute?
Just thank you guys for your time, and not just everyone that watched the show today, and not just to Rich, Operation Vets with Nets, but Chris and Mike Buzbee. Yeah, I'm gonna make a video. Watch. Thank you so much for your time and for being here with us. And I know we always hear thank you for your service, but not only for what you did while you were in the military, but just what you've done outside of the military as well. And thank you guys for everything. I see Carolina Lake Weights. Shout out to Carolina Lake Weights.
I need to get an order in with them.
I'm telling you, it's golly, man. I like hearing your guys' stories. Just like, man, I should have became like a reporter. Like, I should have worked for some sort of like fishing show back when I was younger. But I just love this. It's amazing. I love hearing you guys' stories. And what's amazing is these stories will go on and on and on, because I would take something from your story and from the story last week with Anthony, right? And I've shared that when I'm out with people. Or, oh, we had so and so on the show. We talk about this and we talk about that. And that's what life's about, making memories. And I think,
That's right.
Mike, you said it earlier, is that it's okay to ask for help. It's hard. I was one of those. I was in the military, first one in my family to get a college degree. Went through some horrible stuff, but I would not ask for help. I couldn't do it because I'm a macho man. I don't do that stuff. Come on, It's in my heritage, my culture. We don't do that stuff until one day. So I started losing some people, and I'm like, what is going on? And then I said, you know what? Forget all that. I was like, it's okay to not be okay. And that's for some help. But thank you guys for your time. We appreciate it, and everyone who watched.
Guys, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank the Buzbee brothers.
Buzbee.
Buzbee.
I love that name.
Enjoying that.
I really appreciate you guys more than you know. Mike, you're more valuable than you can even think of. Every one of our volunteers are. And it brings joy to me. Excuse me. It brings joy to me when people want to serve. They want to help our vets, and they'll do whatever it takes to do that. And that's phenomenal. That's what we need. We need more love in this world like that. Yeah. And I appreciate you guys. Chris, it was awesome meeting you and talking with you, even though it's over video and everything. God willing, this project, and Mike knows about it, but and I can't share the details, but things may be changing with Operation Vets with Nets in about the next 6 months. And if it does, I will be coming out to Oklahoma, because I'm going to be visiting every location, meeting with our folks and stuff like that. It's very important to me. So I'm going to shut up. Or I can talk all night long. Guys, I appreciate you. Charlie, I appreciate you being my partner in crime in this.
You got it, brother.
We definitely think in a lot of ways we're in sync. And so that's what's important. I appreciate everybody who's come on the show tonight. Yes. All from Facebook, from our YouTube channel at Operation Vets with Nets, for over River Chronicles YouTube channel. Guys, hit those subscribe buttons.
Yeah.
If you know any vets, I know Samantha was tagging a whole bunch of folks. I'm hoping they were vets. And so we can get more folks out there. If you know anybody who wants to volunteer in one way or another, you want to be able to sit there and go out and say, hey, I don't have a boat, but you know what? If there's events in my area, I'd love to go set up a booth, hand out informational stuff, and get involved with the VFW and stuff like that. Hey, we can use all the help. Yep. You guys are great, man. Becca, thanks again for jumping on and keeping everything straight for us. All the love from all our various watchers. If anybody has any questions, you can always enter them in here for our folks to see. But if there's anything we can do, please let me know. For my brothers or sisters who are going to be in the ice bowl, I'll see you tomorrow. You guys all be safe. God bless. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Sign up. Operation Vets with Nets.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Charlie.